throat.
Hey guys, and welcome to a new video by Elca. In the first episode of our editor school, we will be covering the absolute basics of the editor, such as movement, duplicating, rotation and basic map settings. So this video will be a kind of introduction. If you're already a bit familiar with the editor, check the timestamps of topics in the video description and maybe you will learn something new too. To access Far Cry Arcade, either go to an arcade machine in story mode or directly select it in the menu screen. If you are in the arcade mode, you have 3 options to choose from: New Map, Solo and Co-op, New Map Multiplayer, Edit Map. In Edit Map, you can edit already created maps or maps you downloaded from other Far Cry players. In the side panel, you can choose the game mode: Assault, in which you must kill everyone on the map; Outpost, here you must liberate an outpost; and Journey. This is the simplest game mode you can choose. You only have to reach the end of the level. Next up, you can choose a terrain preset. Unfortunately, you only have 4 options here: Empty Map, Forest, Rocky Island and Outer World Island. Now the basic camera movements, which are self-explanatory. The most helpful option here is the L3 for the camera speed. You can see your current speed in the upper right hand corner of the screen. Use the left thumbstick for basic FPS movement: forwards, backwards, left and right. Hold R1 for moving up and down. This is useful in very vertical maps. The right stick will allow you to look around in your level. By pressing the L1 button, you can bring up your selection wheel. Most of these options will be covered in future episodes of our editor school. Next up are gameplay modifiers. These modifiers can change the overall feel of your map dramatically. You can, for example, adjust gravity, jump height and if you get fall damage. In map details, you can change your mission objective. Keep in mind that this will delete some specific objects such as spawn points or AI. Use the tags to make it easier to find for other players if they are looking for a scenario. It is very important to create a good snapshot. This is basically your thumbnail for this map, so if you have a good snapshot, players are more likely to play it. To create a snapshot, hit R2 and L2 for clearing the picture. If you want to jump instantly to the snapshot position, you can also hit square. Now to the most important part of every map: objects. To place an object, you can use R2. If you want to edit it straight away, you have to use L2 for placing it. If you choose to edit it, you have several options to do so. You can simply move it around with the right thumbstick. You can hold R1 down if you want to move it up and down. And if you choose to press down on the D-pad, it will drop the object to the ground onto its pivot point. Left D-pad is for switching between follow terrain mode and normal movement mode. R2 for rotating. And if you hold R2 and L2, it will switch the rotating axis. You can also enter specific coordinates. Hold R2 here for fast increase or decrease, as well as you can edit pivot coordinates in this menu. If you choose to use generic shape, you can also apply custom textures. In your standard editor window, you can hold R3 and left D-pad to undo, R3 and right D-pad to redo, R2 and D-pad up to explore, so the AI won't react to you and you can't die, R3 and D-pad down to play. One important part of creating a map is to make sure your map is validated. Most of you will encounter an error if you want to play your map the first time. Usually, there are some clipping issues or issues with gameplay objective placements. To check your map validation, first hit Options button, then choose Editor Options and Validation. This will show you what you need in your game mode to upload and play it. It will also show mistakes you made and clipping objects, for example. To find the mistakes on the map, simply click on the mistake. Another important part is to make sure your player does not explore more of the map than you want them to do. So check and edit your map limits. A useful tip to grab the standard map limits is to increase your cursor's radius. Pull the corners in to fit your map size. This will be the playable area for your map. You can also add additional points to the map limit if you hover over a line and hit R2. To quickly build a map, it's very useful to know how duplicating works. To duplicate an object, select the object and hit the right D-pad. Now you can edit the duplicated object with all the options we have taught you before. You can also hit the right D-pad again to duplicate the object again. To select several objects at once, hold R2 and change the radius with the left thumbstick. If you want to rotate all objects at once, deselect and reselect all objects, otherwise it will only rotate the root object. By doing that, you can create huge groups by duplicating all duplicated objects again. In the end, don't forget to save your map. And if you did this, you can publish your map to the community. In the next episode of our editor school, we will talk about basic and advanced terrain editing. So, see you soon in the next video.